this thing on? I don't know. I'm going to go with it. Hey, what's up? It's me, Animal. Only on Animal Expedition Files. See you there. Hey everybody, welcome to the Animal Expedition Files. I am your host, The Animal. Thank you so much for joining me on an amazing evening. I think it's Saturday. Yeah, no, this is Friday. I got my days mixed up. It is Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I usually do it on Saturdays, but I'm doing it on Fridays. We got a special guest here, Sara Sophia. Can't wait to have her on the show. We're gonna have a lot of cool stuff happen. So don't miss out. But how are you guys doing? I haven't done a live in a bit. I've been doing some recordings instead. So I haven't seen everybody. I hope everybody puts say hello in the chat room. Miss you guys. So but check us out on animalexpeditionfiles.com. You can check our us out. Hey Michelle, how's it going? Thank you so much for the intro. You guys are amazing. But check us out on www.animalexpeditionfiles.com. We got some cool merch there you can check us out on. And also on YouTube and all those cool streaming sites. But I hope everybody's having a good day. And I know I just came back from eating food and just chilling. So I hope everybody's doing good. Hey, Patricia, what's up? How's it going? But we're going to have Sarah on here in a sec. I just wanted to say hi to you guys, and I hope everybody's doing good. But let's welcome our guest, Sara Sophia. And also, before I have her on real quick, go check out on YouTube where I've been doing my recordings lately. My last one, if you didn't see it, was with Richard Lale. Really amazing conversation. If you like that subject, religion and stuff like that, it's a real it will make you think, that's for sure. So go check it out. But let's have Sarah on the show and let's have some fun.
Hi,
What is up?
how's it going?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
You're not having too much fun back there, are you?
Yeah, no, I'm just enjoying being here tonight and hanging out with you.
Sweet. Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun. This will be not a lot of questions, but we're just gonna talk about nonsense and paranormal stuff and a lot of cool stuff we were talking about before. But before we start talking about that, I want to get to know you a little bit more. How did you get into the paranormal? How did you really all of a sudden experience all this crazy stuff around you and be able to have this amazing journey?
Well, that's a great question. And I have so many stories, and I'm trying to think of one that I could explain that I haven't explained on on the last podcast that I was just on. But ever since I was the age of 2, I started seeing and talking to spirit. And here I thought it was completely normal. So a really great story where it kind of started out was my parents took me for a drive, and we were passing a cemetery. And here at age of 2, I didn't know what a cemetery was whatsoever. And I remember just trying to get my parents' attention, being like, look at the angels. Look at the angels. And they kind of looked at each other like, how the heck does she know what an angel is, or even to say angels, because we don't talk of angels?
Yeah.
at all. And of course, in a cemetery. So it started to just progress after that. We lived in a nice, very old home. And I remember every time my parents put me to sleep, I started seeing a shadow figure
Wow.
sitting at the end of my bed. And my memory is just so good. I can go back from the age of 2 all the way to now. And I'm 35 years old, and I can remember beyond. And I think that's just part of the gift of being a medium, is believing and remembering the things that I
Yeah.
need to remember. But believe it or not, the way I described him at age 2 and up, he had a black hat. And
Oh wow.
yeah, and very, very tall. Of course, I was very small. And I remember just waking my parents up consistently, very upset because I just had a feeling that this wasn't right. This shadow kept appearing in my room and it never said a word. That's the thing at all. And I started to describe him. And as I got older, I remember describing the man in the black hat. Well, here I didn't know others were experiencing the same apparition that I was. And, this is something that I didn't really explain to my kids. And I have 2 boys. And 2 years ago, my son woke me up and said, "Mom, there's a shadow man with a black hat in my room." And I jumped 10 feet in the air. It was like 3
Hmm.
o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, wow, like, I'm still trying to understand what this means. Maybe it's just a guide.
Hmm.
But it all kind of began from there. And I've just been sensing and feeling and seeing spirits since. And I've always known I was different than others and questioned the afterlife, but it also feared me. And I tried to stay away from it as much as I could because I didn't want any part of it for a long time because no one could understand me.
Hmm.
So, yeah,
Wow. That's pretty interesting. Like being in those situations, especially be able to be very sensitive. Cause I know like I'm a very sensitive person when it comes
yeah,
to that. Have you ever been in a situation where it like took over you in a way, kind of like it was
yeah.
like kind of like a bad feeling? Because I've had that before where it was very negative and it literally dropped me to my knees pretty much. It was that bad. But have you ever been in a situation like that where it kind of controlled you in a way?
Yeah. I'm trying to think of a time that I can explain, but the first one that comes to my head is um, our family home that we grew up in, despite the one that I was just talking about. Um, it also had a lot of spirit energy. And I remember feeling as though that there was something not right. And I was having dreams of the house being on fire.
Oh,
And I could smell fire smoke. So I remember like talking to my dad and questioning him on that. And he's like, "No, Sarah, like the realtors would have said something." This house was 105 at the time. And things started happening in the house. So I started seeing spirit at the top of the stairs. And I remember voicing that. Like, I just saw a little girl. She just ran up the stairs. I saw another little girl in the other room, and it just kept happening, and the dreams kept happening. And as years went on, my dad, he was trying so hard not to believe what I was talking about because the unknown scared him. Because understand, I grew up in a Catholic household, a
mm,
Catholic family, and raised in the Catholic Church. And we lived not even 5 seconds from the Catholic
oh,
Church,
wow.
beautiful big gray one. So
Yeah.
it's like my backyard was actually a funeral home.
Oh man, I could imagine like just
Okay.
the activity.
So as a little girl, I'm outside playing. I'm watching people in grief and grieving their loved ones in a parking lot and seeing things that, as a young child, playing in the backyard shouldn't really see. But I feel
Yeah.
as though it's just in my charts that my life had to be around this um, activity. So, that being said, I ended up losing a friend. He drowned when I was 17. He was 19, and he was one of my best friends. And my dad was extremely close with him as well. And that was a really hard time for me. And that's um, part of the reason I started to want to understand the afterlife a little bit more, because I wanted to make sure that he was okay. About 2 days after his passing, all of a sudden, paranormal activity is happening in our house, and it was just insane. And let me tell you, we were not thinking paranormal at all. I wouldn't even know that word at that time. Um, all we knew is, oh, there's a ghost in the house, or my friend is visiting.
Yeah.
So I decided to stay at my mom's because I couldn't stay at home because the grief hurt so much with the memories just crawling around the atmosphere. My dad ended up calling me one night and he said, "Last night I got stuck between the doorway and I couldn't move." He goes, "Sarah, I literally couldn't shift through the door." And
Hmm.
then he's like, "When I went to bed, I felt as though I had somebody pressing down on me, like holding me down." He goes, "I don't know, maybe it was just fear, but something was not right." And it started to happen more. So he started asking me more questions. We started doing more research. Um, and then I'm at my mom's and I see this blue faded orb with my own eye. And my mom and I start talking to the fan because the fan starts to turn on and off.
What?
And so I said, "If you're here, can you turn off the fan?" The fan would turn off. So me and my mom are whipping the blankets over our head and going, "Oh my God." And we're like, "Okay, can you turn it back on?" It would turn on. All of a sudden, we had the house phone, the cordless phone at the time, and it started to go off saying, "This number cannot be connected. This number cannot be connected." He was trying to reach us through the afterlife. That being said, the next morning I go back to my dad's and I remember sitting at the kitchen table and I'm having a bowl of cereal. And I look at my dad and he looks at me and he goes, "Sarah, something happened last night." He goes, "I do not even know how to express this, but I turned off all the lights in the house, checked all the doors just to make sure everything's good. All of a sudden, I see this blue faded light." He
Hmm.
goes, "I don't know what it was." He goes, "It started going up the stairs through the hallway, but it started going crazy in your bedroom." And all of a sudden I went white as a ghost. And he's like, "What?" No, like, "I saw that same thing last night." And he's like, "You have to be kidding me. I literally told him that you were at your mom's." And he goes, "It ended up
Wow.
disappearing." So that's a story I've never told ever on anything. And I could go on more about it, but I started sensing and feeling him.
Yeah.
And I started having outside of body communication with him, which was new for me. And my development in psychic medium was really shifting. It's almost as though you can do this because you're a seer, you're a channeler, you can understand, you can feel these things. So um I just started to kind of allow myself to feel the energy more because I really needed to feel him.
Yeah.
But the grief kept getting in the way. So it took years to really let that grief down. But I could literally feel more energy. So as I went into high school, um, I started feeling other people's energy more,
Hmm.
and I could start hearing things. And I was very bullied in high school, not because of that, because I wasn't explaining to many people other than maybe a couple good friends that I could see spirit, and they did believe me. But it's because I felt different, and it's almost like they could see a difference in me, and I could not understand what the issue was or what the problem was. Um, but I feel as though my journey as a psychic medium and a channeler is exactly what I'm doing now. So I've
Yeah.
had so many experiences, and um, I will do this for the rest of my life. Like I just, it's with me.
Yeah, man, that's great. I totally understand like being in high school and with the whole paranormal thing. Like I would
Yeah,
lead too with a lot of things, especially like because I was very like into religious stuff when
yeah,
I would say, what was it? I'd say my junior senior year of high school. I don't know if they do that. Do you guys go by freshman, sophomore, junior, senior in
yeah.
Canada? Same.
Yeah.
Um, Pretty much my junior senior year, like literally, like people, because I would I carry a Bible with me all the time, and people are like, oh, there's a Bible person, the Bible nerd, and all that stuff, and they're like, why do you carry a Bible around and then you talk about paranormal stuff, you
Oh
know?
wow.
So yeah, it would be kind of like stuff like that, but then yeah, it was very weird, but there's one story I did want to share about with you, like about the paranormal. Like once my uncle passed away, which like was a weird thing because he was an alcoholic and a drug addict, and he was because of all the stuff he was losing his foot and all that stuff. He was in the hospital like every day.
Was
So
he
after
diabetic?
um, I don't know if well, it's funny you say that. My dad's a diabetic. He might have been a diabetic. Um, Now that I think about it, I think he was. Uh, After he passed away, the day after he passed away, I was walking down my driveway to throw out the trash, and I saw him in my driveway the day after. And then the weird part is, after a couple of days later, we start because he smoked a lot. We started smelling cigarette smoke for like a month,
You're kidding.
like just cigarette smell. And we're like, nobody smokes in this house, and we're like, we just smelt it and stuff like that. And I actually have his comic book because he was a comic book collector and stuff like that. Like, yeah, I have his like whole comic book collection and stuff like buried somewhere. But I'm just like one. It is like stuff like that. Sometimes you have some other person they could be attached to it. Do you think maybe that's why?
Yeah. No, absolutely. What was his name?
David, Edilla.
Aw.
Yeah, he was. And the weird part, the funny part is, well, not funny, but he apologized before he passed away the way he acted,
Mhm.
which I think a lot of people realize like before they pass, they realize what they've done,
Absolutely.
and then they're
And
like,
and what I'll say is too, when we leave our body,
mhm,
we leave the burden, the pain, the hurt, um, everything with the body. It does not carry on with us in the spirit whatsoever. So really and truly, he needed that so he could physically let you know that, hey, like I need to leave this here
yeah,
with the body, but understand in spirit there's so much more love and understanding and forgiveness. So yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, yeah. It was very interesting after that, like after seeing him and then experience cigarette smoke, and it was very weird. I mean, I've experienced other stuff like in this house and stuff like paranormal wise. Like, I'll have a jokester that like likes to flicker the light on once in a while in the bathroom, and I'll be like, "Stop it!" And it stops. Like, or we'll like have stuff thrown off our wall, or we'll hear voices and stuff like that. But it's, um, But yeah, it's really cool to be able to experience stuff and be able to feel that energy and see it, and also be able to talk to it, and that's another thing I was going to ask you is also what you've been working on is the apps.
Yeah.
And can you talk to us a little bit about the apps that you're working on?
Yeah. So I wrote some stuff down. So I'll kind of explain and then I can kind of show you guys an example as well.
Yeah.
So we have a new app called the SCD Archon and the Vocabus MK2. Um, and it's through Anthony Sanchez. He is the Ghost Hunter apps. And if you guys check out on Google, Instagram, YouTube, or Facebook, I would definitely suggest Google or Facebook. You guys can look up ghosthunterapps.com. So myself and Bill Murphy. So Bill Murphy is the best known for appearing on several major paranormal series, including Fact or Faked Paranormal Files, Sci-Fi, Ghost Lab, Discovery Channel, Ghost Stories, Stanley Effect, and he's very well known for big locations and the Queen Mary, etc. So I think that's really cool that I get to team up with
Yeah.
these two. And Anthony is the developer of these apps. He works for one of the biggest software companies in the
Wow.
world. And the way I can describe apps is there are so many different type of spirit communication apps, right? Like we
Mhm.
all use them. And we all have our favorite, or we just don't at all because we're skeptic of them.
Yeah.
I'm definitely a skeptic believer, and I think it's very important to be a skeptic believer. With the Ghost Hunter apps, Anthony has developed a software where it's the same as a hardware ghost box.
Oh wow.
So it works off radio frequency. There's no word banks whatsoever, just like a lot of apps. So it works off voice to speak and our energy. So we have to give spirit a voice. It only works if you're in the right mindset, if you're willing to be open to spirit communication, understanding spirit. A lot of the time when I use them, I get a lot of angelic things that come through, which is really, really cool. And Anthony and I always laugh because so many like angels like to come through and be like, I'm here, hello. Or sometimes I'll get called the B word, depending on the spirit. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So when using these type of apps, you cannot have any fear. They're
Yeah.
not a game. They're not for play. They are not for fun. They are for communication. And I always say to people, do your research first.
Yeah.
But these ones right now are only software. So very soon they're coming out on iOS and Android, which is very cool. I also have a promo codes to give you guys a discount as well. Um, but that being said, um, I'll try to show you guys a bit of a demonstration here. So
Awesome.
give me 1 second here. Gonna turn this up. It works off radio frequency. And I don't even know if I can turn you around on this thing. 1 second here. I think I turned it up. Just gonna have to turn
Do
it
you
off.
get a lot of paranormal activity in your house?
Yes. Oh, yes. If you guys check out my videos, I have a few haunted dolls. I don't even like calling them haunted. I like to call them dolls with residential energy.
Hmm.
And they do some crazy stuff in that house.
I don't do dolls. That's a
Yeah. And you know what? I didn't either until I was called to own the doll, and that's a bad thing too. So that's not
Oh,
even.
oh yeah. I got a story about dolls. Yeah. I was like, nope, not today.
Not today, not happening.
Nope.
I just got to restart this. Um, yeah, so I'm excited to do more lives with the apps as well and show how you use them properly. Um, and take them on some big investigations as well. Um, come this year.
Now, do you ever get like talking about apps? Because I know a lot. I've seen people debate about apps and all that stuff and
Mhm.
boxes. Um, Now, my argument over what they say is because phones and technology today have gotten so much advanced, and a lot of things like especially
Yeah.
recording, just recording for EVPs and stuff like that. It's like phenomenal of how much crap I could get up just from a recorder on my phone.
Oh, me too.
And it's
Yeah.
I feel like our phone technology is advancing every year and getting better,
Yeah.
and that's why I would disagree with other people about the phone apps, because I feel like in today's society, back in if it was like maybe 5 or 10 years before this, I would say, well, I don't know, you know. But today, now that we're like more advanced with AI and all this stuff, and
Yeah.
I feel like the apps today would be more sensitive to something like that in that advance.
Oh, I completely agree. And I always tell people you need to have an experience to believe it. Like you have to have
Yeah,
your own experience to understand it. And I have done so many different lives, made TikToks, using not just these apps, but other apps, for instance. And when you get the validation of your name coming through or um conversation about whatever it is that you're doing in that moment. So I have LED electric dowsing rods,
oh, that's
and I
cool.
have the tripwire that
Yeah.
Jeff Eastman had sent me to use. And I like to ask spirit, what color um, am I holding in my hands, or what color can you flicker? When I start to get the answers, which I do, they'll be like, "Oh, you're holding blue.
Yeah.
That's right. Now, what other color am I holding? Green. Yes."
Wow.
So I find it all comes with how you treat a spirit, how you communicate, how open you are. Um, then you're going to get the responses that you asked for. And in this type of work, I try my best to have absolutely no fear. I just treat them as though they were once a human.
Yeah.
And it's funny, and I was saying this on another podcast I was on a couple weeks ago. I had posted a video, and this one guy thought it was nuts. He's like, "Oh my God, look at this chick. She's talking to spirit like it's a dog." And I just laughed. Like, I'm like, you know what? I'm not even going to block this guy or delete that comment because I want people to see that comment, because I'm going to answer to this the best way that I can. And it's basically, you would be very surprised
Yeah.
when talking to a spirit like that, how forward the communication you're going to get. The responses are so much more better. And it's me, like, if I'm going, good job, like, that's great. That's how I communicate. That's how
Yeah.
I work. And then they're working with me and sometimes telling me good job.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, it's finding your niche of how to be an investigator or a
Hmm.
medium, and communicating. And I do it like it's Christmas morning.
Mm.
When I'm ready to communicate, I'm on there. And I built a portal by myself, and I've communicated with my loved ones who have crossed over with for other people's loved ones that have passed and brought them through. I saved a mother from um, taking her own life
Wow.
because I allowed her to hear her daughter come through. And there's just been moments that it's rewarding. Um, I'm just the reporter in
Yeah.
these senses. So, um,
It's funny that you say that because there's times like people laugh at me because I do Bigfoot hunting also,
mhm.
and there's some like things I want to do. I know people like laugh about it, but like I always said, I want to like put Taco Bell out there for Bigfoot, and then when he eats a Taco Bell, you'll be able to smell him because
Oh my God.
having tacos, you'll be able to find him easier. And people are like, "Oh my gosh, that's so stupid," but I'm like, "You
You
never
know,
know."
you want to know something? Here's the crazy thing. In my home, we are huge Sasquatch believers.
Oh yeah,
Huge. My kids grew up from like 1 years old up till now watching mountain monsters, Alaskan monsters, even
yeah,
though they didn't catch anything.
yeah.
They actually just got to see that, hey, and like there was this one episode where it looked like maybe it's traveling through an orb. Maybe it's traveling through a different dimension and that's why we can't
Hmm.
see it. Like, here's the thing. Why, criticize? If you don't know, why criticize?
Yeah.
So, like my very religious grandmother who is now passed, I remember asking her if she believes in Bigfoot, and she goes, "Oh, yeah, I do." She goes, "Absolutely, I do." And for me to hear that from her, I was like, "Hey, yeah, there definitely is." Like, she believes it. But, like if there's a huge megalodon in the ocean, then why can't there be a
Yeah.
Bigfoot? Like, if, like my family laughs their ass off that I believe in aliens. They're like, "You're a psychopath." And I'm like, they're going to think you're a psychopath actually, because there is such thing, because I believe in all paranormal. I believe if you believe that there is something, I believe that because I want you to believe me that I can communicate with spirit and then I can talk to the dead and I can communicate with the dead. If I can prove that, there's other people proving in the paranormal field what they believe in, so I just,
Let me ask you
why
this
not?
question. Let me ask you this question. Speaking about Bigfoot and stuff and UFOs, like when I was on last night's show, they asked me this question. But I'm gonna ask you the same question they asked me. Do you feel like Bigfoot, paranormal, UFOs, all cryptids and everything of the realm? Do you think it could be all one entity?
That's a great question, and I wish I could answer that. I wish I could be like, yeah. For all we know, angels could be extraterrestrials.
Mm-hmm.
We have no idea, but we have a version of what we believe.
Yeah.
I believe that, yeah, maybe they all do hang out on a planet and they're their own kind of like species, and they're coming to check in on us to see what we're all about. But, like they say, this is so weird, but like, you know, they come down to see us,
Yep.
and then they're seeing the kind of animals and stuff that we have on our planet, and they're trying to study us. Well, we're trying to do the same with them, and maybe
Mhm.
Bigfoot's one of their animals. Like, who freaking knows?
I don't know. It's a very interesting conversation because I've been hearing it a lot where
Yeah.
everything is, all kind of paranormal is all one. Especially I don't know if you heard this. Owls is another one too. I don't know if you heard that, but I've had an experience where we've had owl calls in the woods in different side of the woods talking to each other. And it
Mhm.
went from owl calls to whoops, which is Bigfoot calls for at least like
And
10
they're,
minutes.
yeah, because they're both night crawlers.
Yeah. So it's just interesting that, and that's what makes me think like, what if everything is paranormal, Bigfoot, UFOs, and this or that, or angels, um, or whatever extraterrestrial that's out there, and that's what's beautiful about this is that we get to just check it out scientifically and have fun with it.
I think too, like, it's all starting to come out. I felt that huge shift in 2020. The
Yeah.
pandemic came, the earth shifted. It's almost as though we just went into a new earth and left the old earth, because people are starting to awaken. There's massive things happening on our planet. And before 2020, no one really talked about it.
Yeah.
There was no studies being proven or shown, and then all of a sudden,
UFOs in the sky.
UFOs in the sky, all sorts of different
Yeah.
things, and then it starts to make you wonder. But it's kind of nice to have something to believe in,
Hmm.
and it's almost as though they say a lot of this stuff to distract us for whatever reasons. But that being said, it keeps me more alive, and it has put my mental health at a betterness, if you will. Like, to have something to believe in and to feel, like, say back when I was in high school, I wasn't thinking aliens, Bigfoot, of course, ghosts, but not sit there and think of it as much as I would now. But it's nice to have something to believe in and keep you on your feet, and show the world, what you can try to prove and analyze, debunk, and just, um, it's then makes somebody interested, and then it just starts to grow and grow and grow. Everybody's just awakening and understanding now that this is the kind of world that we live in. And I just think it's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm gonna put you on the spot here a little bit because I know you're a psychic and a sensitive. Doing like podcasts and stuff. Do you ever have something like when you do an interview where something comes through sometimes, or,
Mhm.
like um, I'm trying to think, like somebody who just passed away or tries to speak to you while you're doing interviews?
Sometimes, yes. It's funny too because when we started talking, I wrote the name Phil down.
That's my dad.
No way.
That's my middle name also.
You're kidding.
I'm not kidding.
Okay, so there's spirit coming through bringing up the name Phil. So I wrote that down, and I wasn't going to say anything unless whatever, but yeah.
Wow, that's good. I wonder if it's my uncle
Well, when we
or
were
my
talking
grandma.
about your uncle, that's when
Yeah.
Phil came through.
Wow.
That's why I asked you, what's your uncle's name?
Yeah. No, Phil's my dad. Yeah, that's
And
but
your dad's still living?
oh, he's still living.
Okay, so that would be your uncle trying to like say hello to Phil.
Yeah. Well, the weird part is they never got along.
That's okay, because here's the thing. Your uncle doesn't think of that on the other side. He
Yeah.
goes, "That's my brother." Like,
Yeah.
um, I'm still watching over him, and I'm still present in his life no matter what. So, and when they do meet on the other side, they're going to reunite, and it's just going to be okay. Yeah.
Mm, that's cool. That's funny. It's funny what you said, Phil. I was like, holy crap.
Oh, you should see me in antique stores, thrift stores, restaurants. There are sometimes I just pull people aside and say, "Are you okay to receive a message?" Even at work, and I do spook a lot of people out.
Wow. Have you made
Um,
people cry and stuff like that? Like,
oh yeah, absolutely. And I just tell them I'm just the messenger, and I'm just here to deliver a message in this moment. Um, and I allow spirit to come to me. I can't just pull spirit out of thin air, but when spirit's ready to speak, spirit will come through. Yeah.
have you ever had a troubled spirit like that just wouldn't leave? That was just a pain in a rear end.
Um, on investigations, yes, definitely. And through readings, like if I know I have a reading in a week,
Yeah.
I will tell spirit, "You're welcome to come through. Um, Show me how you passed. Allow me to feel what you felt. Give me names, give me memories," and I'll just write everything down. There was this one time and I didn't know it was spirit. And I've had actually a few moments like this, but a week prior from this reading, I was feeling very depressed, and I couldn't figure out why I was so depressed. And I just would cry in my pillow. I'd run myself a bath and I just try to relax and I just start sobbing. And I just started thinking some negative. Oh, sorry. I started thinking of some negative thoughts. And at that point, I'm like, hey, something's not right.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to cancel this reading with this person. And I just remember hearing, no, you need to do this. It was like my spirit guide saying no. I ended up doing a reading for a lady who lost an ex-partner to suicide.
Oh.
And when I brought him through and I was telling her what he was showing me, all of a sudden, all those feelings and depression completely released from my body. And it was him showing me how he passed. And that was one of the most hardest readings I've ever done in my life. And then I had to learn how to now block those kind of things out and learn how to use the proper tools to not feel that come through. So it was almost like it was so irritating and so bugging. And it taught me in my mediumship how to know what's not mine and what is spirits. So, yeah.
Man, that would definitely be hard, especially
Are
with
you
something
there?
like
I
that. Do you
think you
ever
might
have
be
like
frozen.
I'm frozen?
Hello?
Hello? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Um, I don't know. Something happened. Let's see. Hmm. Can you hear me? It's weird. I don't know what happened. I think we got lost there for a second. But hopefully she'll come back. Let's see what's going on here. I don't know. The internet's been acting a little weird. That's why I haven't been really doing much lives lately. But oh, there she is. Let's see what happens. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
That was
I
weird.
was thinking maybe it has to do with Facebook. When you say certain things, maybe it blocks out. Like, I don't know if that's a new.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Did I get lost in everything I said, or did you hear
Oh, I
everything?
heard everything.
Okay. So that was probably one of the hardest readings to navigate and to understand how to use these tools. Um, so that's where I kind of felt a spirit kept bugging and poking, and I kept, feeling as though if this is spirit, please stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone was saying spirit is affecting you guys.
All the time. But hey, it has, and I've learned to not allow it to affect me anymore.
I always said like it's funny. Like if I was ever a spirit, I would be like a jokester kind of spirit.
Hmm.
I would just do stupid stuff, like move things and stuff, turn the lights
Oh,
off.
I would scare the absolute crap out of people for sure. Why
That's
wouldn't you?
I know it. Like just like literally like just like go in people's minds and make them say stupid things.
I know. I know.
I don't
Oh
know. That
gosh.
would be pretty fun stuff.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this question before we go, because I know we don't have much time. But do you believe in reincarnation?
Yes, I do.
Have you had experiences with people in reincarnation? Because I hear stories all the time. Like I've actually heard something from my 4 year old daughter where she would talk about there was this fire and stuff like that, and she had a brother in the hospital. I've heard like stories like that from my daughter, and I'm like, where did you get that? Like, and then she would like just go off rambling on something else. But like stories like that I hear about when
Yeah.
you're young, they're like talk about stuff that like where people lived in past lives.
I'm a huge fan of Dolores Cannon, and I'm sure some people in the comment section would know who she is. And if not, you need to totally go on YouTube and look up Dolores Cannon. Um, I found her because my oldest son was having dreams of plane crashes. And when he was 4, and when he went in his first year of kindergarten, they went into the gym and would have to lay on the mats for exercise. And when he looked up at the ceiling, he thought it was going to fall and collapse on him. So the teachers were pulling me aside saying, like, this is kind of what he's saying. He's afraid like the ceiling's going to fall on him. And I kind of just ignored it, not thinking anything of it. And then he ended up changing schools, and the same thing would happen. He'd have a panic attack. And then he was still having recurring dreams of plane crashes. So I always thought that my son was a 9/11 baby,
Yeah.
which is crazy. So I started doing more research and found Dolores Cannon and started listening to um, a lot of other people's experiences. Growing up as a Catholic, we were not to believe in reincarnations or ever speak of that word whatsoever. But as I got older and um, getting to know more about my gift and learning different things and reading books, I can't help but believe in reincarnation. I feel as though we are energy. You can't destroy energy. Energy just is.
Yeah.
Our spirit just lives in this vehicle, this vessel. It dies, but our spirit doesn't die. And I feel like we still have so much learning to do.
Hmm.
And I feel as though a part of us being here on earth is how to learn how to love, forgive the people who have hurt us, do the things that we want to experience, listen to the voices that say, go for it. Um, and when we don't get it right this time, maybe we get it right the next time. So
Hmm.
I just think it's really cool. It's a whole other topic that I am very inspired about.
I hope I become a Bigfoot afterlife.
I
That's
hope
what
I become a spirit.
I would like to become a Bigfoot. It'd be funny as hell.
Well, that will
uh,
be interesting because then you'll kind of know how to hide from people, I guess.
I know. I'll be like the biggest hiding seeker in the world.
Have you had an experience? Like, have you caught them yet?
Bigfoot. I've had some experiences with Bigfoot where I've had rocks thrown at me. We've seen some shadows of like this tall figure in the woods. Like I said, I've seen footprints, multiple. I got pictures. I'll have to send them to you. Um,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
a lot of like Bigfoot callings, wood
Wow.
knocks, a whole bunch of stuff. I've also had like extraterrestrial light balls of light that chased us out of the woods. We've had a whole bunch of crazy stuff happen to us at that time.
That is so cool because I can't say that I've experienced that. So to hear your experience, that's really, really cool. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'm excited. It's we're still searching. The cool thing is we're still searching for these things, no matter what. If it's paranormal, ghosts, UFOs, Bigfoots, cryptids, things that lived underwater, dinosaurs. We're still looking
Mhm.
for them, and that's the best part of what
And
we do.
then when we cross over, then we know it all. And then when we come back, we forget again.
Yeah, which sucks because I would like to remember that
I
stuff.
know. I'm like, you know what? Dang, this is a good character that I'm playing in this role in this lifetime, and I don't want to lose her.
I see something to the right of you. I don't. That was weird. Or
You're
maybe,
not the first that have said that.
or it's the left of you, like fit like a hand.
Oh, that could have been me. I don't know.
No, it's not that. It wasn't that. It was like on the other side. It was weird. It was like a
Oh,
shadow, like reaching out.
well, I've had some equipment kind of go off
Yeah.
here tonight. Before we go, did you want to meet my doll Harvey?
Yeah, I will. I will.
Okay. All
I
right.
know I don't like dolls, but I will. I will. Out of respect on a doll, I will.
Okay, so this is Harvey.
Oh wow.
He's from 1945 and he lived through World War II, I believe. Um, and he holds a lot of energy. So if you guys check out my YouTube channel under KUWS Paranormal, we have an episode where we met Harvey and we did an investigation at an antique store. And this antique store is incredibly active. Um, and I just remember feeling really drawn to a certain room, to this glass door. And I'm like, that doll right there is calling me in. So we brought an EMF reader in, a K2 meter, the millimeter, and it was spiking up huge. So that being said, Harvey stayed, and then my aunt on my birthday went back and got Harvey for me and said, "Here you go." So he was my first ever doll that held energy. And so we do TikToks together, guys. And I know, like, that's crazy. I have a couple of other dolls, um, Annie and Andy. They are Raggedy Ann dolls, but holy cow, they set everything off in the house. My children think I'm nuts. So but I'm also on TikTok under KUWS Paranormal and Facebook. You guys are welcome to follow the journey with these guys because these guys light up all the paranormal equipment and they come through the spirit boxes too. So
Wow.
Harvey just came with us to one of the most haunted prisons in Ottawa, Canada. Um, and an episode is being aired tomorrow. And yeah, they come on our journey with us and my team. I have an incredible team, and we do amazing investigations. And come July, we are going down to Connecticut to meet Annabelle and stay in Ed and Lorraine Warren's home. And no, I am not bringing any of my dolls or that energy home, but it's going to be an experience. So,
That's awesome.
yeah. Yeah.
Heck yeah. Oh man. This
I
has been
I wish the app worked for you guys tonight, but for some reason it wasn't. But that being said, I'm going to be posting a lot with those so you guys can check it out and check out Ghost Hunter apps.
yeah. Yeah, definitely check. They definitely work. I know a lot of people are very weird about them, but technology's getting better, guys. So
Yeah.
check them out. Trust
Anything's
me.
possible if you just believe.
Believe it, and you will receive it. So go check those apps out, and thank you so much for coming on the show.
No problem. And next time I come on, we're going to prove to everybody that Santa Claus is real too.
That's we're gonna talk a lot more than that. We were supposed to talk about like accents and all that stuff, but we never got to.
Okay, so before I leave, I'll explain the milk.
Yeah, explain the milk because that's milk in a bag in Canada. Like,
Yeah. We drink milk out of a bag. We have the best farmers and all the greatness of milk, and it is in a bag. So we take the bag, and maybe I can just take you for a walk and show you what it kind of looks like. Hold on. Okay, so yeah, we have a lot of different things that okay, so this is our milk.
it's in a bag. Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Okay, so here's the jug. And this is what it looks like.
What? That's
And
cool.
so we snip the top. I can hear myself. And then we put it in that jug. And then we pour it into the glass and we drink it.
Wow, yeah, ours is just a plastic like formed like jug. They're jugs. They're plastic jugs.
Well, welcome to Northern Ontario.
Well, you guys get a lot of snow too.
We do. We get like it's insane.
Dang.
And we're big hunters up here
Yeah,
as well. So
I need to go. I love hunting. I
yeah,
need, I need to. I got actually a big hog head up on my wall.
I
But
got a 13-point buck on mine.
making me jealous. I'll have to come up there and go hunting now.
Yeah, it's great. It's a lot of fun, and it gets really cold up here. But we're very used to it. Like if I were to go to Florida, I would freaking die. I'd be like
Uh,
melting on the ground. And if you
very.
came up here in the summertime, you'd be freezing. You'd have to wear a winter coat and gloves. And to me, I'd be in a bathing suit going, it's freaking 40. Like I'm boiling. So it's crazy. But
It
my mom travels to Florida like all the time. She
all
loves
the
it.
time. Oh man, I hate it. It's like in June and July, August, from between there, it's like freaking anywhere from the 80s to like 120. It's
Oh, I would have heat stroke and I'd be like dead on my deathbed.
and I work in the heat all the time. So it says that they like it hot. I'm like, you can keep it.
We're cold-blooded.
Oh man, I miss it. Like I'm originally from Rhode Island, and I miss home, and I miss the cold. I miss the Four Seasons.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm north of Toronto. So I'm like way up there, way up north,
Yeah,
and I love it. Yeah. We're
yeah.
in Muskoka region, so a lot of celebrities come up here for Boots and Hearts, Casino Rama, our Muskoka lakes. They have cottages up here. I met Tori Spelling at the park.
Wow.
Pier Country. I used to actually clean Pier Country, so I got to see a lot of artists come up and just hang out. We have a lot of country singers come up and hang out. Like and I'm like, out of all places, why here? But it's the Muskoka region. It's very popular. So yeah, and my town just hit 15 for Nashville, like for people from Nashville to come up and start filming videos and music videos, which is crazy to me. We're a town of 35,000 or less. So yeah,
I think
crazy.
I know where I'm going next time.
Yeah.
Oh hell. But we're gonna end the session here in a second, and we're gonna talk a little bit more after once the show goes off. But I want to
Sure.
thank you, Sarah, and thank everybody for watching the show. Please follow Animal Expedition Files .com, and Sarah, where can they find you again?
Okay, so KUWS Paranormal, and that stands for Keeping Up with Spirits. You can find me on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, which I don't really use. Or you can just follow me under Sara Sophia. There's a double A at the end, and I share everything there. So, yeah, and more podcasts and shows I'll be on coming up. And we have new episodes on YouTube as well. So, yeah.
Heck yeah. Well, again, thank you so much for joining me on the Animal Expedition Files. This was an amazing show. Can't wait to have you on again. We'll be definitely talking once we go off there. But everybody, I hope everybody has a good weekend. It is Friday. Please, if you're in Florida, please stay warm. Well, cool or whatever it is. I don't know. But if you're in Canada, please stay warm.
Yes.
But I hope everybody has a good weekend, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks,
Peace.
guys.
Lights on. Realm TV.